My name is Jim Cronin and I farm here in East County Clare. And I suppose in this area I'd be known as the guy that's a market gardener. So we're a small farm, 16 acres here in East County Clare, Bridgetown. So it's farmed organically, certified organic, and it's a mixture of horticulture and some cattle and a bit of poultry, a few horses. The main focus is on intensive market gardening. I've always wanted to be a farmer, and particularly a gardener, particularly a market gardener, because I just love the concept of sowing seeds and growing crops and tending soil. I absolutely love living here. I've been living here for 32 years. Bought this little farm 32 years ago, and we've reared a family here. So it's a great little farm. It's not just about growing crops and putting them in bags and making money. We want to do something. We wanted to please ourselves when we look out the window. And you'll see that I'll show you over here, when we plant crops, like it only takes an extra 3 minutes, but you might as well plant a row straight as plant them crooked. So, and that is a horticultural market gardening skill, to be actually tidy and clean and neat and organised. That's the foundation of market gardening, and I like to practice that quite a lot. So you can see what I'm talking about, like symmetrical rows, crops straight, all that kind of stuff. So this is lettuce and spinach. A lot of our emphasis is on having a continuous supply of crop, so we try to go for 52 weeks if at all possible. So the guy that's grazing is a bullock, so he's called Marco, and then the one line down is a cow, suckler cow. She's a Hereford cross, so she's Katie, and they're especially quiet, so they're my lawnmower. It's very good for us to have bovines because they have a very particular type of dung, and mixing that dung with horse manure and composting it is a key ingredient to the success of our farm. So what we do is we make compost in a very, very specific way, and what we're aiming to do is we're aiming to put out on the horticulture 4 to 5 tons of this chocolate cake-like substance per annum in order to grow the crops. So they're an integral part of our fertility program. A tunnel of pumpkin squashes, and the unusual thing about it is that it's actually a compost heap. So in here there's a whole process going on with composting, and there's a mixture of cow manure, horse manure, some vegetable plant waste, all that type of stuff. Your classic compost heap has been built in here, and then on top of that we put on a layer of old silage as a mulch to keep in the fertility, and into that we planted a crop of pumpkins, and out of this tunnel will come sufficient fertility. We'll take all this stuff back out again in the autumn, and we'll use it in the other tunnels as our source of fertility for the coming year. It's not ready yet, the compost, but it's on the way, and by the time the crop is finished, we'll basically have 20 tonne of chocolate cake. I love the blackbirds. You know, the blackbird is the Lundoof. I love the blackbird. I love the sound of the blackbird. I love their song, everything about them. And I just love seeing them around the place. And to me, to see a myriad of blackbirds is a healthy farm. And at the same time, if the blackbirds are coming into this tunnel, what they're going to do is they're going to eat these cherry tomatoes. So they can cause quite a damage. So I have that kind of balance where I have the tomatoes are beginning to ripen now, so I'm going to put up this net in front of the door to keep out the blackbirds, and I'm kind of saying be elsewhere but not in my polytunnel. So it's not as if I'm organic and that everything is sorted and everything is easy. It's constantly this juggle with nature and respecting it. So working horses are interesting. They're as economic as a tractor up to 2 acres of tillage, and they're as efficient. But they have a lot of use, and they have a lot of very sensitive use in the land. You basically get no compaction with a workhorse. They can go between the crops, they can do a multiple variety of tasks like weeding, earthing up, those type of things. And they actually produce fertility. So it's a skill set that's been lost. There's only a handful of people doing it now in Ireland. I think farm from your heart. Listen to your heart. Okay, you got to make enough money to live, but listen to your heart. And intrinsically, every farmer that I know is a custodian of the countryside, and they want to do the best for the land that they own, and they want to pass it on to the next generation in better heart.